All right, welcome to the All American Hoops podcast, episode 56. And this does feel kind of weird because obviously I took the week off last week or not really took the week off. Took the week off from hosting last week and also wasn't really
Is he frozen for you too, John?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Please stand by. We're experiencing some difficulties.
I thought it was me in the lobby, but I think it's both me and Chris. Or Chris and I should say. John, you're back in your original podcast place.
I am. It's
Home base.
Yeah, home base. I was apologies for the delay. I was an absolute corporate weapon today and had to stay all the way through.
I also stayed pretty late today. I stayed until like 5:10, so pretty long day.
Yeah, I had to stay late, and then I was reminded of how lovely NJ Transit is.
Okay, we're back. All right.
Nice.
Right. Okay. Yeah, off to a great start, obviously. Yeah, it's been a while since the three of us were in the same place recording. So as per usual, joined by my younger brother, Matt Driscoll.
Chris, it's a pleasure to be on. Just want to say I respect you producing way more now after last week. There were some internet difficulties, and it's tough to power through. So a lot of respect to the host.
Appreciate that. And hopefully won't be dealing with many more today. Hopefully it was just the start of being thrown off guard by everything, but that's okay. But also joined by our older brother, John Driscoll, who is recording in his original space of the first episode of the All American Hoops podcast and his original space in general. So thanks for joining us, John.
Hey, H, it's a pleasure to be on. Thanks for having me on again. Thanks for waiting for me. And not to spoil any of the agenda here, but $5 to the first person who makes Dad throw up and references WOBA.
I think that'll be the person will probably be me, honestly. But yeah, we'll talk about that in 1 second. But for those of you that are fans of the pod that watch us for our basketball content, I promise you this will be the last time we talk about baseball in a little bit. For a little bit, I should say. I know we've been talking about a lot of baseball, but that being said, a ton has been going on. So yeah, this will likely be the last time we talk in a little bit. So please stay tuned. We got a great episode ahead of us, talking about strictly the New York Mets because they've had a big week. But however, more basketball content coming this week, which is kind of a slow week because
I'm all for the baseball content. I don't know about you. I've had a pretty good baseball week. Some of my pals, I'm aware, have not. That's a shame to hear.
I feel for them,
Yeah, I'm not too upset about it.
We can sneak in a little NBA content while Chris is frozen. The Celtics are up 57-42 with a minute to go in the first half. So way to be, boys.
It's I think it's almost a little bit different watching the Celtics this year. Definitely don't take it for granted. But after, kind of putting it all together last year, I don't live and die with every regular season game. Even though when they do lose, I feel a little empty inside.
Yeah, like when we were in your apartment on Saturday when they lost to the Grizzlies, it was like, damn. And then, that was kind of it. We kind of got over it pretty quick.
I think Chris was telling everyone that Rui Hachimura is better than Jason Tatum. I had to check him on that. That was that's back-to-back weeks of a Rui Hachimura mention. I really hope he's listening.
Did we mention him last week?
Yeah, I called him a bum, and then I felt immediately bad about it.
Is Chris a Rui Hachimura guy? I didn't even know that.
I don't think I've ever heard him mention him before.
I saw his man Draymond Green supporter threatened to fight a fan yesterday.
That's so out of character.
Yeah. He's gone again. Also, like to take this time, John, by this is how many times I've lost at St. Denis the past 2 times I've been there.
I miss the runs I miss the runs. It's been a gaping hole in my heart. I'm not sure if I ever have admitted this on air before, and it's something that I need to get off my chest. I was incredibly wrong about Peyton Pritchard. That guy is so good,
Yeah, he's
and
awesome.
You're kind of just starting to see, what I really like is like you're starting to see a guy who's just playing free. And, the Celtics, because they're so stacked with talent, he doesn't really have to try to fit somewhere. They tell him to play the way he wants to play. And he's just so perfect for that role off the bench. It's one of the best contracts in the league. So yeah, definitely wrong about that. So, I'm a big man. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. All right. We wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but however, my laptop is awful, so I'm just gonna stick with doing it off my phone for the entire pod. But we'll try.
Got the advantage in our draft later.
What was that?
So we just got a nice advantage in our draft later.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Yeah. So we heard some Peyton Pritchard props. So as gentlemen, as per usual, thanks for filling the time. But have we gone to the Juan Soto talks yet or no?
We have not. We were waiting. Waiting for you. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So, as you know, last week we were still on the fence as to whether or not we knew or Juan Soto was going to be part of the New York Mets. There were rumors about the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Sox, even the Blue Jays, which I thought was a really weird rumor because if he's on the Blue Jays, that would have been like the biggest 180 ever. Like I feel like they weren't even that good last year, and like I know they have George Springer and some young talent, but like I never really saw it. But anyway, we had a great weekend up in the city, which in John's new apartment. That was awesome. We were hoping that he was going to sign over the weekend at that time when we were together. That, however, did not happen, unfortunately. But however, on Sunday night, the news came true. It was up in my room. Matt was at his basketball game. I'll let Matt talk about that. But I saw the notification. I was on the phone. I literally hung up, ran downstairs to talk to our dad. FaceTime John. It was unbelievable. Like I saw the notification from John Heyman, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. So, John, let me know your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I got quite a lot of thoughts on it. First off, we like, it's fun to clown Yankee fans. It's they like doing it to us, so you got to give it back to them. We do have a handful of Yankee fans that are friends. Some of them I like to call the nice Yankee fans. They take it easy on us sometimes. We take it easy on them. We don't really root against each other too much. Liam, I got a guy I work with that's a nice Yankee fan, but this tweet made me kind of feel a little bit better for the Yankee fans. Yankee fan Earl said that he's convinced that the Yankees didn't want Juan Soto back. So that's a breath of fresh air. That's a relief for me to know that they didn't really want him bad. And that's probably why they lowballed him with the offer of $760 million. It's one of those things. And I know it comes down to, you look at the numbers on the page. He went to the highest bidder. Yeah. When you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, at the end of the day, he, chose the Mets based on what you can say $5 million extra over 15 years, or you could say 40 if you want to go into the opt-out clauses or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, I think Juan Soto went because the Mets bid the most, yes. But I also think that he kind of just liked the Mets pitch a little bit more. I think there's a difference between the Mets offer and the Yankees offer in a way where the Yankees have a lot of money tied down to them right now. They're paying Garrett Cole a lot of money. They are paying Aaron Judge a lot of money. Obviously, that Stanton contract isn't great. Was there much of a promise from the Yankees that, okay, you give Juan Soto all this money, what are you going to do after that? Did the Yankees shut it down after that? With Steve Cohen, this almost ramps up their spending in the next coming years, I think, because you have to capitalize on the prime years of Soto and Lindor. And, if they bring Pete back, who knows? But I think awesome signing for the Mets, probably the biggest of their franchise. But don't get it twisted. This wasn't just about the money. I think that Juan Soto and probably a lot of other people around baseball realize that this isn't the 90s anymore. The Yankees aren't this evil empire. No one's chasing what the Yankees are building. People are chasing what the Dodgers are doing. So, yeah, very excited. Juan Soto's a Met.
Yeah, John, I want to touch on what you talked about at the end there a little bit, because that's kind of my main thought. The Mets, whether we like it or not, like we're doing an all-time draft later in the podcast, they were run pretty horribly for almost their entire existence before Steve Cohen. And with this signing, it really kind of shows the shift and the turning of the tides in a way that this is one of the first times ever, like probably maybe the 80s, maybe excluding the 80s, that this is like where the Mets, it's like the first time ever the Mets are run better than the Yankees. Obviously Yankees have had sustained regular season success and they've won a couple playoff series. But Soto did come here because, the Mets were the highest bidder. But like you were saying, John, like I think they have a better plan for the future than the Yankees do. They have a better farm system. They have the owner willing to spend money. They got David Stearns, who is one of my Lord and Saviors. Brad Stevens and David Stearns are two of my favorite people in the world. But yeah, it's unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable getting to watch this guy who's a 26-year-old future Hall of Famer. He's probably going to go into the Hall of Fame wearing a Mets hat. To watch him for the next 15 years, just an undescribable feeling.
Thoughts, gentlemen. Just put my AirPods in. You guys can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good, perfect. Yeah, I know that was my thing. Okay, perfect. So, okay, yeah, amazing thoughts. Yeah, it's just unbelievable thinking about this is what the New York Mets are now. Yeah, I like how Matt dove into David Stearns. But, yeah, like I'm not ready to call him like one of the. Like, I don't really know many. I don't know the GMs in the baseball as much as they do basketball, but I can't imagine there being many GMs better than David Stearns because, yeah, like obviously he was like very successful over the trade deadline by not trading any of the top 20 prospects, and now we're just in a situation where we just spent $750 million, like it's like a $75 million bonus plus like 50 million on the, or is it, I don't even know how much, like, but like just a boatload of money on the books, and now there's still talks about us trading some of our top prospects for another big name. I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like it probably won't happen given that David Stearns is such an awesome GM, but the fact that we're in a situation where we can trade those top prospects for like a bigger name is awesome. So it's something that I absolutely love seeing, and I'm very much looking forward to the future.
Yeah, and with David Stearns, it's pretty cool because David Stearns has made his career operating within the margins, right? He is known for not giving out these gigantic contracts to these, superstar players. He kind of targets these undervalued guys, like you saw with their rotation last year, paying them, less than what he thinks they are worth, and kind of capitalizing on that. And now with the checkbook of Steve Cohen behind him, it's almost like Derek White gaining a jump shot, already a great player. And now he's just over the top now. So I can't wait. It's a new regime. It's a new era of Mets baseball with Cohen, Stearns, and Mendoza. I think they're all on the same page and just really, two great baseball minds behind the passion and the checkbook of Steve Cohen.
Love to hear it. All right, so now we're going on to the awesome portion of the show. So I've always wanted to do this. Do like an all-time draft. I wanted to do it over the summer with the Celtics after they won the title with some other Celtics creators. Didn't get to that, but I'm hoping I can do something like that soon. But I figured since we're in a part of the season where we're a basketball season now, where it's kind of like it's almost the dog days because we're like just like approaching the All-Star break. It's like the middle of the NBA Cup, which no one really cares about. And so I figured since this was big Mets news was really nothing to break for basketball. This was a good week to do this all-time MLB draft. So basically, what we decided was that so we're essentially just fielding our own team. So it's basically we're going to go with four. So we have to draft four starting pitchers, two closers, and a player at each position. Now, one thing I want to say before like we get into the draft is that I thought I was the old man of the of the panel. Like I always thought like I was the one that like likes to stick to things the good old days. But that was until I brought up the fact that I wanted a DH in the starting lineup, and then Matthew almost bit my head off about how like about how we can't include DH for whatever reason. So I thought that was a very interesting move on his part.
I'm not saying we can't include it. I just don't want to draft JD Davis, Darren Ruff, and Daniel Vogelback.
We can disagree. We can disagree on that, but it's okay. Yeah, but so I'm thinking that so I think I don't even know if I talked to John about this, but like I think I talked about it. Yeah, we're gonna go oldest to youngest age order. So it'll be Snake Job, John 1, me 2, Matt 3, Matt 4, me 5, John 6.
Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. All right. It's going first is tough.
Yes.
You kind of have to identify whether it's more valuable to go Chris. Could we pin that? We can just read it out. Dean Hanrahan, great chirp there. Buck would bat Vogelback third on an all-time Met lineup, and he would be proud. That's true.
He sees a lot of pitches. He sees a lot of
pitches, and then at the 20% clip, he gets to first base. It takes him 3 minutes to get down there. So, I think when you think about the Mets all time, I'm gonna go ahead and fill out one of these starting pitcher spots with the greatest Mets pitcher of all time and one of the best pitchers of all time in the sport, and that's Tom Seaver.
It's the correct pick.
Is the correct pick. Yeah, guys, I tried to pin it, but I can only pin it off my host screen, which is my laptop, and as you know, it's not looking so well today. So, yeah, I was going to hold off on buying a new laptop soon, but like I think I'm gonna hop on that sooner rather than later.
Treat
But
yourself.
what was that?
Treat yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
tell whoever's got you for Secret Santa to pony up.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so yeah, I agree with everything John said. It's tough to go based off positional value. Do you go based off best player? I'm not going with either of those because I know for a fact that if there was a chance that if there was no chance that the guy I was going to take, then Matt wasn't going to take him. But however, I'm going to go with. I don't think he's the best positional player of all time in the Mets. I think he's top 2 though. I'm going to go with my favorite Met of all time, David Wright.
I don't hate that pick, Chris. I don't hate that pick.
Would you do you think you would have taken him third, either third or fourth?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the right pick.
Well, my question is, and this is this may have been discussed off air. I think it's easy for us now to go through in the earlier rounds and identify, guys who are great Mets would be great players anywhere. But what are we putting more value on? The fact that they were great on the Mets, or are they just like great players?
Great on the Mets.
Okay, so we're going based on Mets stats.
Contributions to the Mets, yes.
Okay, all right, that makes it. Yeah.
All right. I'm between 3 guys here. I'm going to take Jacob deGrom. One of my favorite Mets of all time. I was upset when he left, but I get it now. He took the more years. He was the best pitcher in the league for 4 straight years, 5 straight years, whatever it was. One of the most dominant athletes I've ever seen play any sport. And he was on my favorite team, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to go deGrom. And then because it's contribution to the Mets, I'm going to take Keith Hernandez with my second pick.
Great pick.
Greatest fielding first baseman of all time. What a absolute sham. He's not in the Hall of Fame. It's disgusting. But sorry about that. Go ahead, Chris.
Correct take.
There's the correct take. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely dive into that another day. But has really no one taken this guy yet?
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the guy who, like the other guy who I said was a top position. I was gonna go pitcher here, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go best guy on the board here. I'm gonna go with Mike Piazza.
I was gonna take him. But because of his contribution to the Mets, Keith won a championship. So.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, shit. Okay. All right. Well, I have 2 picks.
Mhm.
It's also one of those things you think about. Do you go for a position that is thin early on?
Right.
Okay, well, I'm going to double down with a pitcher here too. Again, I think that it's since I have 2 picks, it doesn't matter as much. But I'm going to go with Doc Gooden as my number 2 here. Really solidify my rotation.
Friend of me and John, by the way.
That's right. We got to find that picture.
I'd share the. I would share the screen, but.
Yeah. So now I definitely got to target a position player. It's tough because I'm stuck between 2 guys that I think one is the better player, but there's probably a little more depth at that position. But I'm going to go with a guy who we all kind of grew up watching. My favorite player of that run because I was an outfielder, and I'm going to take Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, that's who you'd take. It's definitely the right pick in my opinion.
Employee of the Mets.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
So I took DeGrom and Keith.
Manager.
Yeah. So this is the 8th pick in the draft. I'm going to please our father now. Yes, because we didn't take his sweet lefty Prince off the board now, but I'm going to go with the best Mets lefty pitcher of all time, Jerry Koosman.
Nice. Super base, Chris. I'm going to go with the strategy of positional play, like maybe not the best player on the board, but once I take him, the position gets way worse. I'm going to take Gary Carter.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah. The kid. Rest in peace.
Yep. Right.
My team's got championship pedigree. Keith and Gary.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So I got another pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am going to take a future Hall of Famer in Francisco Lindor.
Ooh, I like that.
You're up again, Chris.
I am up. Fun fact, actually. I'm not bringing up I'm not bringing up Woba as John mentioned earlier because I'm not that much of a nerd. But however, I'm still going to bring up a stat that I made up, which isn't really made up. It's just something that I plugged into to the spreadsheets. But Francisco Lindor does have the highest WAR per 162. So he has an average WAR of 6 point something. Is the highest of all time. So great pick by Matt. Yeah, I'm also going to stick with the positional value pick, and I'm going to go with Edgar Alfonso for my second baseman.
That's getting thin.
Yes, it is.
What was that?
The pre-Steve Cohen Mets. It was a couple tough generations.
Okay. Yeah, this is tough because you want to take guys who are better. I am going to solidify with my 2 picks up the middle. and I'm going to go with Daniel Murphy and Jose Reyes.
God damn it.
Right.
All
Got
right.
one of the most clutch. Yeah, like I got one of the most clutch hitters of all time. For the Mets, Daniel Murphy. Let's see here. So yeah, I got one pitch here so far. So I think I'm going to go for my next guy. Yeah, we got the core four off the board. People know him as the guy who screwed up his career after throwing the no-hitter. However, he still had a very solid career with the Mets. I think he was there for 5 years. He finished top 3 in Cy Young, I want to say, in 2008. But I'm going to double down on my lefty rotation. I'm going to go with Johan Santana.
We did see him give up a grand slam to Felix Hernandez at Shea Stadium.
That's right. Oh.
I'm going to take the Mets home run franchise leader in Darryl Strawberry. Hopefully, Pete breaks that one day. And hopefully, Juan Soto breaks that eventually, too. So I'm going to go Strawberry. And then on the wraparound, I'm going to go Sid Fernandez.
All right.
A lot of drug use on my team, it seems like.
Fortunately. Yeah. Let's see. So this one's tough. Got good pitchers. I got a pretty good infield. I'm gonna take an outfielder though. I'm gonna go with the guy whose his most famous signature is taking a knee after catching the game winning catch for the World Series in 1969, Cleon Jones.
Oh boy. It's getting a little thin here. Chris, I would just like to say, with all due respect, I hate this stat board so much.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't put a filter on it, so I couldn't do like who leads individual stats.
Nope. And this is the best season.
Beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. But
What are you talking about? You guys are the business majors. You guys you should know how to make edits to these spreadsheets.
I didn't have access. I didn't have access to
Make
edit
a copy, as I said in the email.
Use Google Sheets like a typical teacher. Get into Excel. Let me make a pivot table off of this.
It says the finance major. You spread.
Let me
Yeah, we use Excel. We're not woke and don't use Google Sheets.
Come on.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make a very base pick, and actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to identify that slot yet because you guys can't take any more catchers. So I'm going to ignore that for now.
Smart move.
And I'm going to take someone who may or may not be on the Mets, but one of the best power hitters in franchise history. That's Pete Alonso. Solidify that first base spot.
Peter Morgan.
Goofy Pete. And then at third base, I'm going to take Hojo, who was the home run leader until Mike Piazza. Oh, not Mike Piazza, excuse me. Still Carlos Beltran came along and shared it with him. And then
That's right. I forgot about that.
Took it. So Hojo at third base.
John's got his John's got his infield filled out. So yeah, good for him there. Let's see. Got my second base, got my third base. Both first basemen are taken. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna steal another starter off the board. I don't know how hard of I know that Santana wasn't the hardest pitcher, and I don't know how hard of a pitcher Kuzman was. So even though we didn't leave off with him on good terms, yeah, he definitely had an awesome rookie season and had an even better second year season. Just an overall solid pitcher. Pain in the ass, but I am going to go with Noah Syndergaard.
All right, so I have first base, shortstop, right field, and catcher, and then 2 pitchers, right?
Yes.
Let's see. I am sorry, this is not good podcasting for me. I thought
it's a lot of stuff to look at.
That's for sure.
Sorry, give me a sec. You know what? I am going to, because the position's pretty thin, and he gave us some of the best memories in my Mets fan career. In left field, I'm going to take Yoenis Cespedes. And then I am going to continue to fill up my rotation. Shout out Dean Hanrahan. Fill out the booth here. I get Keith, and I also have Ron Darling now.
Nice. Yeah, I thought about picking him. He pitched awesome in Game 1 and Game 4 of the World Series. Not so great in Game 7, though.
A lot of champions on my team, boys.
That's right. Do I have any? I don't even think. No. I have Kuzman. That's it. Yeah. I don't have any. Oh no,
Leon
Kuzman.
Jones.
Never mind. Yeah, Keelan Jones. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I only have one outfielder, so yeah, I'm gonna take another one off the board. You know what? I'm gonna go. Yeah. You didn't play so great in the playoffs this year, but however, Met for life. I don't think there's a single person that I know likes being a Met more than Brandon Nimmo.
He was injured. He was.
Might be putting him at center, depending on what I don't know how the rest is going to work, but we'll see.
Okay. So I got corner, outfield, catcher. I have to reopen this spreadsheet because I need to access the starting pitchers. Okay, I'm going to take a starting pitcher that really was probably one of the main reasons or the only reason to watch the Mets in 2013, 2014. That is the Dark Knight Matt Harvey.
Oh.
Great pick, John.
I thought, okay, that is the right pick, but I thought you were going with someone else there.
John, do you remember we watched Matt Harvey get out of bases loaded jam while they caught the Boston Bombers?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh my God, I remember that. Oh, that's insane. Yeah. No, yeah, I know I wasn't there, but yeah. Still got one more, John. I don't know if you
yeah. I think I'm going to so outfield, we're kind of just leaving it up for grabs. I can get like 2 center fielders here.
For sure, absolutely.
I wish we clarified that at the beginning.
Just 3 outfielders. Yeah. I feel like that's the standard.
In that case, I'm going to go with good old Mookie Wilson.
Nice.
Champion. And I'm going to put him in left. I'm going to put Mookie in left for now.
Mookie did play left field. He was the platoon with Lenny Dykstra. So that is the right move to put him in left field and Beltran in center.
All right, there we go.
So you guys already took the first. Both of you already took the first base and shortstop. So I'm gonna hold off on those. I'm happy with my rotation for now. Do need one more outfielder, but I'm actually gonna be the guy to draft the first relief pitcher. I'm gonna go John Franco.
Damn it, Chris.
So John Franco is one of, I think it's the 5 captains to be of the New York Mets. Pretty insane. The thing I think about most with John Franco is I just remember one time Craig Carton on like this was before he got arrested for whatever it was, fraud or whatever. he said it was like a franchise four thing. Every team had to do like a Mount Rushmore. And then he was complaining for like a solid 10 minutes about why John Franco isn't like how is John Franco not a top 4 man? I'm like, he's a closer. He's a great player, but he didn't make the 1-2. Yeah, wasn't even a top 20 player in the Mets all time. So I don't know why. Yeah, that's one thing I think about. But good enough to make my list though.
All-time leader in saves, John Franco.
Yep.
That stinks. I was really going to pick John Franco there. So I'm going to fill up my rotation here because I think all the other positions are. Oh wait, could I fill out my? Who did I took? I took Cespedes. Is it allowed to draft Juan Soto? Or, oh no, we said it was Mets
No.
success, right?
No,
Mets
yeah.
success? It's a shame. I'm going to fill out my rotation here and take one of my all-time favorite Mets. Kind of not really talked about. Cy Young winner R.A. Dickey, knuckleballer.
That's what the John was going with, like when he said like only reason to watch the Mets. But yes, yeah, but definitely great pick there.
And then I'm also going to tap into the bullpen. Hopefully, future Hall of Famer in Billy Wagner.
God damn it!
Just that want to talk about fraud about him not. He's another one that hasn't made the Hall of Fame yet. It's ridiculous. Okay, so most of these guys are off the board. I'll find this real quick. Yeah, so I'm gonna round out my rotation because I do want to. I do want to have a solid rotation. Yeah, I'm very happy with the guys that I have. So I am going to go with David Cohn, I think.
All right, it's me.
It is you.
All right. So I'm going to identify this, relief pitcher, closing pitcher role, and take someone that's a little polarizing. He had a tough year this year, coming back from injury, but when he was at his best, he was the best, and that's Edwin Diaz, untouchable when he's healthy. Hopefully, he can get back to his, where he was.
I believe in him.
And now we will identify a very tough decision to make of starting pitcher.
Do you have 3, John?
I have 3, yeah. I'm going to go with a guy that might be a little out of left field. But me and Dad did get this guy's autograph back in the day at Shea Stadium, and that's Al Leiter.
Nice.
So I think my
it's a very underrated pick. I like that.
Yeah, I think my rotation is a little top heavy, but I'm just gonna have Doc Gooden and Tom throw complete games every outing.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Okay, so I am going to round out my outfield now. Yeah, I do have Cleon and Nemo. We got here. I think that I'm going. Standing between 2 guys, both lefty corner outfielders. Both of them were on the 2015 Mets. Could go with either one of them, but I'm going to go with the guy who lasted a little bit longer than him. I'm going to go with Michael Conforto.
Nice. We win in 2015. Conforto's probably a Met for life, which is a shame. John, by the way, who'd you take? Did you take Ojeda? Oh no, you took Al Leiter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I have Bobby Ojeda.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's my pick.
Yeah.
Is your pick?
Let me see. All right. I'm going to take a second baseman because I haven't yet. So I'm going to take Jeff McNeil. Chris, you were right. Jeff McNeil is the third best second baseman in franchise history.
For context, I got into a heated argument with our father last night about, because he apparently thinks that who do you say was better than him?
I'm trying to think.
Who was it? Felix Unger, or whatever his name was. Yeah. No, it was Felix Milan. Yeah, Felix Milan. Yeah, the Felix Unger was a joke. Was a joke, by the way, to Dad and Uncle Blue. Just so you know, it was.
And so I got another pick, right?
You still got one more. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take. I only took one reliever, right?
I believe you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take another champion because my team's filled with them. Jesse Orosco.
Known for throwing the glove a million feet in the air after a U6 win, so that's a great pick. Okay. So outfield's filled out. Got my rotation filled out, so I just need another reliever and my first baseman. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with my reliever. Do I go by
your rotations filled out? Did I miss? Who was your fourth reliever? Who was your fourth starter?
David Cohn.
Oh, that's right. I missed that.
Yeah.
So sorry, Chris. Who were mine? It was DeGrom, R. Dickey, Ron Darling, and
Sid Fernandez.
Right. It's a good rotation.
So, okay. So I'll reveal who this guy is later. But like the guy who I think would be the next right choice is someone who was extremely dominant for his time, but however he is a bit of a head case and alpha person also in addition. But yeah, he's a bit of a head case. Like like anytime he faces adversity, he would always blow it. But however, I'm going to go with the guy who's the complete opposite of that. Doesn't have the best stuff, but he was absolutely nails in 2015 and 16. Give me Addison Reed.
Nice. I'm so happy he got drafted.
All right, so my two picks, I would have to round out my outfield a little bit here. Slim Pickens.
Yes.
You know what? My outfield right now, it's a little it's my outfield's good, with Mookie and Beltran, a little bit they seem like nicer, more calm guys. I think it's important that I round it out with a real lunatic scumbag in Lenny Dykstra.
Nice.
Just to, add some fire into that outfield.
Matt, you still have enough ready to go, right?
Me?
Yeah, I think you do, right?
Yeah, I do.
You still okay, yeah, so I'm not gonna reveal who the next guy would be, but yeah, Johnny still got one more.
Yeah, I gotta go with a relief pitcher now, and there is just so many people I hate.
Yeah.
Did you guys close out your relievers? You did, right?
Yeah,
I did. Yes.
I
Yeah, Matt did too.
Really about this. I think if you just look at stats alone, Familia and Benitez are guys that their stats are better than everybody that has left, but screw those guys.
Familia was the guy I was talking about, by the way. Yeah, okay, if that wasn't a giveaway, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with this just seems like the safest pick, and that's Skip Lockwood.
Ooh.
About 380 innings pitched for the Mets, 2.8 ERA. Just under 9 Ks per 9. Kind of a guy that floats under the radar, but that's my second to last pick.
Great one. So I just want to mention, I didn't mention it when I drafted it, but however, Addison Reed, by the way, does have the lowest FIP for all Mets relievers. So I'm very happy with it. Yes. So even though I just mentioned that he's nails, not only is he nails, he also does have this stuff. It's just a matter of a little bit. He does require a little bit of luck from him. So so I did not fill out my infield just because, like you guys drafted yours earlier, rightfully so. So I say mine for last. But however, I'm going to go with the guy who I'm going to fact check myself right here. I do believe, you really thought I was gonna end this podcast without using WRC plus as any of these stats. So I'm just double checking right now. Yes, John Olerud does have the highest WRC plus of all time with the Mets at a 146, just ahead of Darryl Strawberry,
What
142.
what was his on base percentage one year? Wasn't it like? Let me look it
Oh,
up.
it was ridiculous, but like it's career with the Mets is 425.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I could check that out right now actually.
Nice. I believe I have 2 positions to fill out here. Is that correct?
I believe you do.
All right. I think it's outfield, and by the way, his highest on base percentage with the Mets was 447 in 1998. So my outfield with Darryl Strawberry and Yoenis Cespedes, 2 good arms, but I don't know how Strawberry was in the field. I don't think he was that great. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And Yoenis, had a great arm, but was kind of lazy at points. So I'm going to round out my outfield defensively and pick the last Gold Glove winner, which is a joke, by the way. Lindor got robbed a couple times. I'm going to take Juan Lagares and put him in center field. I think I'm forgetting an outfielder. I don't know who.
You are.
Who is it?
It was someone that was much better on that 2015 team.
2015. Was it Conforto, Lagares, Cespedes,
Played right field.
Duda? He was first base, but
he batted leadoff. I know you were.
How did I not pick Granderson? Oh my God! Can I take it back or no? Wow, that's really bad.
John, should we allow it?
I wouldn't have remembered him.
Oh,
I wouldn't have thought of him, so I would say don't allow it.
Okay.
But my apologies to Curtis. Come on the pod. And I guess I have to round out with third base, right? Because I don't have one. So I'm going to take future Hall of Famer Mark Vientos.
Love that pick. Very happy you didn't go with some random third baseman like I haven't even heard of these guys. Like Christ. Let me stay quick. It's taking me to work with the spreadsheet, guys. By who is it? Matt Lack, Wayne Garrett, JD Davis. Could have gone Wilmer Flores, honestly, if you really wanted to go clutch. Which by the way, adding a DH would have been really cool, but also would have been very frustrating because just so you guys know, I would have 100% drafted Gary Carter in addition to Mike Piazza. So that would have been very frustrating for some of us. But okay, so my last pick, I do need a shortstop. And this guy was not a good hitter at all. He was not only was not good, he was bad, but however, he's one of the best fielding shortstops of all time. So I really could, if I cared about my bats, I do have a pretty good bat lineup already. Like I could go with Flores, if I wanted to mix of both, you could go with Tejada, but I am going to go with Buddy Harrelson for my last pick.
Buddy Harrelson.
I just want to apologize again to Curtis Granderson and his family.
I forgot. Who'd you take over? I'm trying to fill this out.
Me?
Juan Lagares.
Gold Glove winner Juan Lagares.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick though. I think that's not outrageous if you're targeting defense.
I wasn't really targeting defense. I just couldn't think of a better.
Chris, who's your first baseman?
John Allard.
All right, so I have the last pick of the draft, and I know you guys have been waiting ever since you nabbed 2 catchers in the first 3 rounds. So thank you for that. I went back and forth on this. I was trying to decide between 2 guys, really. I think it really comes down to those 2 guys, and that was either Jerry Grody or who I picked, John Stearns.
Nice.
John Stearns, nicknamed Bad Dude. He was drafted in 1973 as a defensive back by the Bills. And you know what? Offensive numbers aren't going to jump off the page at you, but he batted 260, above a 700 OPS, which, by the way, Chris, I'm looking at this stats page. You have, again, WOBA and WRC plus, and you don't have OPS. I had to create a column.
I forgot about that because it does know because whenever I do that for Fangraphs, so it's I have to add in do on base plus slugging. That part I agree with. I apologize for not including that.
I'm just kidding. You put together a lot of these stats, and we all appreciate it. But yes, I'm taking John Stearns, somebody who threw out almost 38% of the runners who dared to run on him
I
So,
believe one of Uncle Tony's favorite players of all time, John.
well, that's someone who knows ball. So
It was either Stearns or Grody was one of his favorites. I believe it was Stearns. So both rest in peace to both of them. Met legends.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, what's the podcast draft for that? Bringing up some honorable mentions. So we talked about a couple of these guys, but however, I do know that if we had another guy in this draft, or if what do you call it, or we did a DH, I for sure. I would be shocked if if at the very least if we had another player in the draft, like another guy drafting. I'm sure Wilmer Flores would have been drafted. Guy has a million walk-off home runs, and another guy who just loved being a Met, even though he just couldn't field the ball right in front of him to save his life.
Yeah, most walk-offs of all time.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a couple of honorable mentions. John Matlack, who is our elementary school art teacher's cousin. Fun fact. Did someone take Familia or no?
No.
No, Familia. Ed Cranepool.
Dave Kingman.
Dave Kingman was interesting because he was one. He's known for hitting a bunch of home runs, but he's like one where like his greatness was really back then, and like it's like one of those things where the nerds wouldn't really understand that, but like every player that played with him like knows how great he was. Speaking of first basemen that are underappreciated, Carlos Delgado.
Oh yeah,
correct. Yeah. Let's see who else are we forgetting.
Tommy Agee.
Who?
Tommy Agee.
World Series MVP Ray Knight.
That's right.
Rusty Staub.
Yeah. Rusty Staub. Adding outfielders, Cliff Floyd.
Nice. I didn't know if we were going in order or not. Sorry, I was just calling them out.
No, we're not. No, yeah, we just call. Yeah. Okay. And I feel like we should throw another starter in there. I feel like it was Dad who liked him actually because he was lefty. Jonathan Neese. He wasn't really that great, but he was with us for a long time.
Ooh, if we're throwing out early 2000s, mid 2000s starters, we have to reference John Maine.
Nice.
John Maine was my favorite pitcher on those teams.
John Maine, Mike Pelfrey, those guys. Dylan G. These guys, none of these guys really came close to our all-time draft actually, but I would say I guess Neese would be the closest one because he's probably like top 20.
Bartolo Colon had a pretty underrated Met career as well.
He did.
Let's see. Yeah,
by the
John
way,
Maine,
John Maine, yeah.
David Peterson did his best John Maine impersonation this year against the Brewers.
That was phenomenal. Hopefully, if we do this draft again in like 5-ish years, who knows? We'll probably do it in even shorter time because hopefully the Mets are gonna have a ton of success. That we're gonna have to make even more edits to the list. Hopefully, guys like Sean Manaea. Hopefully, Mets. He's a guy like he's like I'm one of those guys who like says like you should move sometimes, but like I really hope they re-sign Sean Manaea.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, not only are there not that many great starters on the market, he was phenomenal for the Mets this year, and even though I'm not really expecting him to be as good next year as he was this year, just like he's another locker room presence guy, and just another guy that could eat a bunch of innings. Cool. All right, go Don.
So this was a lot of fun.
It was, yeah. So I'm not gonna have you guys do this right now, but like after the pod, I want you guys to just give your batting order for like so just give your batting order because I'm gonna post both the board of like what the draft order was, then I'm gonna post the lineup next to next to it, like two different posts, and then release the poll of who it was. But however, the polls really aren't gonna matter at the end of the day. I sound like a politician now, not caring about the polls, but like the polls aren't going to really matter. What's going to matter is we're going to show this to the real committee is our father, our uncle, and our cousin Joe. We're going to send this link in the pod. We're also going to send what and see what they have to think about it. But let's be honest, it's going to be whoever has the oldest team, which I don't even know who's that. Who does I don't even know who has the oldest team.
I have a lot of 86 guys, so I think that will go well with that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good call for the night. But however, yeah, since I am back on my laptop now, I do want to give a shout out to Dean for acknowledging the Odd Couple reference. Which was something I was never expecting to do, is to give an Odd Couple reference on the show. Okay. But as per usual, John, Matt, thanks for coming on. Thanks for filling the time for the first few minutes of the show when I was off, because as always, dealing with technical issues. Hopefully, we're going to be dealing with technical issues from here on out. But who knows what happens here and there. But this has been another episode of the Armageddon Hoops podcast. Give it a follow. Make sure to follow Armageddon Hooper on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure to subscribe to Sports Fluence on YouTube to catch every episode Thursdays at 8:00. From here on out, we're gonna try to stick to chess basketball from here on out. But however, we're also big Mets and Giants fans, so hopefully, so we'll be mentioning those as well. But definitely looking forward to. We got the new year coming up, so yeah, we're definitely looking forward to some more shop, and we'll see what happens there. But again, thanks for tuning to the show, and I hope that everyone has a great night.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.